CD Projekt Red has delayed the next generation releases of Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt into 2022. And if you didn't see this coming, then you've only got yourself to blame. Although I'm sure also a fair share of that blame could be dealt to CD Projekt for getting our hopes up that they might have had this ready in 2021. However, we knew that that was not going to be the case considering the utter state of Cyberpunk, and also the fact that that studio seems to work slow anyway, which has worked in their favour in the past and also, most recently, not quite. So the official CD Projekt Red Twitter account released an important production update that reads as follows. Dear all, we have an important update regarding the next generation updates of Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for consoles and PC. Based on recommendations supplied by teams supervising the development of both games, we've decided to postpone their releases until 2022. Our current target for Cyberpunk 2077 is the first quarter of 2022 and the second quarter of 2022 for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Apologies for the extended wait, but we want to make it right. Okay, I know what everybody's thinking. What do you mean we want to make it right? They didn't exactly get Cyberpunk 2077 right to begin with. As we know, the game was essentially forced out the door way before it was ready, even if it did take them years to develop it. And so despite all the hype and hopes that came from the studio that made The Witcher 3, what we got in the end was essentially a dumpster fire. And of course, a next-gen upgrade for this game was going to be delayed because apparently some of the developers on that game thought the game wouldn't even be ready until 2023. And so why would a next-generation upgrade? So I'm not sure what we were expecting there. But also saying we want to make this right has as much weight as saying coming when it's ready, which was clearly not the case after all for Cyberpunk, so why would it be the case that they want to make it right now? I'm sure they do want to make it right, but that doesn't necessarily promise that that's what we will get in the end. I'm not sure why they announced a release window that they wouldn't be able to meet to begin with, and it was kind of obvious, to be fair, considering everything going on with Cyberpunk, that the next generation upgrades wouldn't come in that release window at all, and so now this is confirmation that they won't. And now I'm thinking, will they even meet the 2022 release window that's now been provided? Because honestly, with the state of Cyberpunk, it could be years before that game's even remotely finished, if it's even worth finishing at all. And if they're prioritizing that over The Witcher's next generation upgrade, which is what's implied considering that Cyberpunk's next-gen upgrade is going to be Q1 of 2022, and The Witcher 3's is going to be Q2. It just seems like another promise that CD Projekt Red won't be able to live up to. I'd probably argue it's worth CD Projekt rebalancing these priorities if they turn out to be so. As between these two games, I know the one that requires the less effort to be brought up to snuff would almost certainly be The Witcher 3, so they could probably get that one out in 2022 if they wanted to, with limited issues. However, Cyberpunk, I just simply don't see that happening because of the state of the game, and it just doesn't inspire me with very much confidence at all. Because to do what is effectively remastering a game just in quick succession after releasing it, you first have to finish the game. But if we want to experience fully next-gen, or at this point, well, it's technically current-gen versions of The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, I think CD Projekt has proven to us that we're better off just waiting as long as we have to, rather than be getting upset over a delay, when in reality the upsetting thing here is that they think they could probably hit the 2022 window. I feel like we should be getting release windows when the game is ready, not when it's nowhere near ready. That just seems ridiculous to me. I don't understand why that's a practice, let alone one adopted by the company that released The Witcher 3. It also makes you think, have they really learned anything at all from the blunder of Cyberpunk if they keep throwing out these release dates and hope that they might be able to meet one eventually? Granted, it's only a window this time. However, the point still stands. And so in a minor way that might be overreading, I'm not entirely sure, however you can let me know down in the comments, this feels a little tone deaf from CD Projekt, saying that they want to get this right, knowing full well that nobody necessarily expects that that's going to be the case. Because they've said that in the past and then gone and gotten it completely wrong. And so this doesn't necessarily feel like the right move as far as rebuilding consumer confidence is concerned. And on top of that, throwing out release windows that seem unrealistic is also not going to be very beneficial in this instance, is it? But let me know what you think down in the comment section, of course, as these are only my thoughts and I would love to hear about yours. In conclusion, the next generation releases for Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will now be coming in 2022 at some point, apparently. However, there are some doubts about that, especially on my end. I'm not entirely sure if they can hit that, and if they do, I'm apprehensive, especially after Cyberpunk, asking myself what compromises will they have to make to be able to do this. But be sure to drop to the comments section and have a discussion down there about it, because after all, that's what it's there for. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. That would be super fantastic. And with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point. But until next time, take care and goodbye.